2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I had the good fortune to move into a home in a historic district. And I'm not sure that the home would have been, designated historic outside of the fact that this whole community came together to create a district. But by being in an historic home and going through the processes with the Montgomery County Historic Commission, the Maryland Historic Trust, I've learned so much about historic preservation, at a personal level here in the county. And it's something that I really believe in very much. And I've had to make many tough decisions, as my colleagues have, about particular sites, particular buildings, and those difficult decisions will always continue. But the community of advocates on this issue, I think, I wanted to recognize them because historic preservation is always such a challenge, and it's really only thanks to the pressure, the support, and the ideals of this group of people who keep us moving forward and prioritizing this important need. So I have a proclamation, but I would like to ask Mr. Kerwin to make some comments. He's with the Montgomery County Historic Preservation Commission. So very good. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank Councilmember Riemer and the rest of the County Council here today for this proclamation. It's important that county residents are reminded of the dynamic form of conservation that preserving our cultural heritage is in Montgomery County. It's also important that county residents understand how we practice historic preservation in our county is by allowing change, not restricting it or limiting it. For historic buildings and neighborhoods to last, they must adapt to society's changing needs. In the past 2+ years, our HPC has approved 100% of the historic work permits that have been provided to us or been received by us, and the vast majority with no added conditions. Last year, owners of historic properties invested over $2.2 million in historic preservation tax credit eligible projects. Not only is this good for the historic preservation, but clearly this is great for our economy here in Montgomery County. We are also thanked with ever-increasing frequency by applicants who tell us that the HPC's review process made their projects simply better. But this takes a lot of hard work by a collection of municipal commissions and staff and nonprofit organizations who, and for our group, an all-volunteer commission for the County Historic Preservation Commission, and an extremely committed and hardworking staff. So I want to recognize the excellent group of commissioners here today, and for our commission, led by Supervisor Scott Whipple, that support this important commitment Montgomery County has made to preserving our cultural heritage. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Very good. So I have a proclamation I would like to just read. And okay, so whereas Montgomery County has a rich history and heritage reflecting the community's values and culture, and whereas the county's historic buildings, cultural landmarks, natural features, and unique heritage represent the values of those who built the foundation on which the county stands. And whereas the State of Maryland's Historic Preservation Office and the Historic Preservation Commissions of the county and its incorporated cities and towns, supported by staffs of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, those cities and towns, and the Historic Preservation Unit of the Montgomery County Planning Department, oversee the identification, designation, and preservation of historic sites and buildings throughout the county. And whereas the MNC PPC Parks Department interprets county history for the community through tours, events, reenactments, and other experiential learning venues made available by county government, as well as by many nonprofit and volunteer historic preservation partners. And whereas in Montgomery County there is a strong network of historic preservation associations, groups, nonprofit corporations, and other advocacy organizations who donate countless hours and dollars in service to a shared mission, preserving the history of Montgomery County, its towns and cities, for benefit of residents, students, visitors, historians, and all interested in the county's remarkable heritage. Now therefore be it resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby proclaims May to be Historic Preservation Month, and be it further resolved that all residents are urged to experience and enjoy the county's historic communities, sites, homes, artifacts, stories, battlefields, churches, and memorials, and to value these historic resources by preserving them for future generations. Presented on this 11th day of May in the year 2015 and signed by George Leventhal, Council President. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the work that you do.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Very good.